the masterclass. I'm actually super pumped and super excited for this course specifically because this is everything that I've learned in 10 years, and I'm giving it to you in about 10 to 15 minutes. And so I truly believe that this is my life work. I'm going to be sharing a lot of juicy details on how to deepen your body connection, how to regulate your nervous system, how to create a life that actually brings you pleasure, love, joy, abundance, and doing it in a way that is purely out of your feminine energy. And so before we dive in, I kind of want you to get in a comfortable place and just go ahead, close your eyes. Let's begin by grounding ourselves. And I just want you to be like truly present. Go ahead and shake out your body, shake out your arms, your legs. Notice any current weight that is holding down, pressing on your shoulders. Feel the body and your spine pressing against the chair, the cushion of your seat, and just notice any sensation in your feet. What I want you to do is I want you to set an intention that you want to hold deeply in your heart. What is the desire that you want to achieve that you feel is out of reach? What is the joy you want to achieve? Do you feel like it is possible to achieve that joy, that desire? Do you feel it in your body? Do you really know what pleasure and abundance feels like? And I want you to just take one big inhale in with a big exhale and really drop your body into what it means to live a life that is truly authentic, truly worthy of every pleasure, every desire that you have ever craved for. And as I continue to share the practical tools and the practical needs on how to relieve stress, right? How to get through the long days, I want you to actually start to write down, is this possible for you? And what is the limiting belief that is holding you back? And if you are feeling called, drop it into the chat. Drop the limiting beliefs that you have around your desires. Drop the limiting beliefs or the stressors that you have in your life, and let's work through it together. And so, what I want to really start with right now is this idea of recognizing the disconnect, right? The disconnect from the masculine and feminine energy, because it truly is disconnection when you are constantly living in a state of fight or flight, right? And so the feminine energy is very fluid, it's wild, it's free. It loves to kind of just dance to the beat of its own drum while also being controlled in a masculine way. So the way that I like to describe the energy union between the masculine and the feminine archetypes is imagine a river, right? And so the water within the river, that water is the feminine energy. The bank, the rocks that control and to dictate the path of the river is the masculine energy, right? Because if you truly lean only in your feminine, well, you're not really going to get work done, right? You're just going to lay there and be like, Les, come to me, come to me, come to me, right? But the masculine energy is the logic and the strategy that we need and the action we need to be able to actually achieve our desires. And so we've all experienced a moment of feeling out of place, right? I know I have. I'm currently in a like I'm currently at a point in life where I feel like the ugly duckling in my hometown, right? And give me like a thumbs up or drop your emoji if this resonates with you. If you have ever been at home, been around childhood friends, family, siblings, whoever, and you feel misunderstood, right? You feel like the way you're living, the way you think, the way you just be in life no longer resonates with them. You no longer resonate with their negativities. And so you feel out of place. You feel this disconnect to who you once were and who you actually want to be. And you're kind of just in this limbo of like, what do I do next? Right? Like I'm currently experiencing that now, which is really amazing because then I'm actually able to give you the practical tools on how to navigate those stressors in your life so that you can get through the day to day and doing it in a way that is sustainable and practical. And so, one practical tool to help recognize and explore these feelings is by journaling, right? Something so simple as just brain dumping, because it is so important to really understand where these thoughts are coming from, right? And I always believe that the thoughts that are stemming up from our day to day, the stressors, they actually stem from three different types. I am not worthy, I am not enough, and I am not loved. They all stem from there. And honestly, by you journaling about it allows you to actually see where that limiting belief is, and it allows you to identify the truth behind it. When was the first time you actually felt like you were not worthy, you were not enough, or you weren't loved? And so, by taking some time each day to write your thoughts, to write your emotions, not only allows you to truly understand it, but it allows you to vent in a way where you're not just going to word vomit onto people who don't have the capacity to hold your emotions. And so, this can really help you gain clarity and understanding on what you're actually feeling, where it is actually coming from, and how to move through it in a way that aligns with you. Because one thing that I have learned is that I can't share certain thoughts, certain opinions, certain emotions to people who don't understand it. I know I will never talk to my mom or even a Monte about my business because they don't get it. They're not business owners. Same thing as I'm not going to talk to my friend who has men problems about a healthy relationship, right? And so being able to discern who you actually get to share those emotions from is super, super important to creating a life that is actually authentic and desirable from you. And so the first practical tool is journaling. And if you want some amazing journal prompts, comment the word body or DM me the word body on Instagram. And so I can send you my digital guide that gives you actual journal prompts to deepen your body connection, regulate your nervous system, and create a life full of pleasure. And so the second one I want to dive into is embracing self intimacy, right? Because that is what my brand is all about: creating epic self love, creating epic self intimacy, and living a life that is truly authentic. And oftentimes, I have so many individuals that are like, oh my gosh, intimacy is only about sex. Like, that is the farthest thing from the truth. Like, intimacy is not just physical, every sexual intercourse idea that comes to your head, right? Like, intimacy is actually the connection you have to your body. Are you able to wake up every single day, look in the mirror, and be like, damn, I look motherfucking good? Because if you can't, then you don't have intimacy within yourself. And then that intimacy stems to all aspects of your life. If you don't have intimacy for yourself, if you can't look yourself in the mirror and fall madly in love to the person you're looking at in the mirror, how do you expect your partner, your friends, your family to love you back? Right? Like, that is what intimacy is all about, is being able to look inside to see on who you actually are, who you want to be, and then teaching others how to reciprocate that back to you. And so intimacy with oneself is like the most essential part of personal growth. And so through the self-awareness, through the self-acceptance, you're actually able to cultivate a deeper connection with your body through mindful practices. And for me, the mindful practices I use on a daily basis, and I've gotten certified in both of them, is breath work and meditation. I combine these two somatic practices that allow me to rewrite my nervous system, regulate my emotions, as well as like rewrite the story that I was once living. And so something so basic as just breathing and opening your lungs to a capacity in which they're supposed to expand to allows you to deepen the body connection. And once you deepen the body connection, you can then start to control your emotions. There is a reason why the somatic reframe, which is my signature proven technique that I share with my clients, allows you to regulate your body within 2 minutes. And all you have to do is breathe. And so, what these mindfulness practices do, like breath work and meditation, they allow you to be present, right? Like, that's all it is being fully present, being able to understand and analyze what is going on in your body, and then attuning yourself to your inner wisdom, right? Trying to incorporate these practices into your day to day is a non negotiable. And if you are wanting to kickstart that journey, again, message me the word body and I will send you my body confidence guide that has practical, sustainable tools in a digital printable guide that you can use on a day to day. It even has a QR code that you can scan to have meditations in your pocket. So if you're wanting to dive deeper into mindfulness practices, that is a really great tool to start your journey. Now, the third practical tool I want to dive into is embracing the feminine power. We are women, like we are women living in a man's world. And so often we have been taught to live outside of ourselves, right? Because I truly believe, this is my opinion, and I will argue with anyone who thinks different, is that men are intimidated by women. If they weren't, there wouldn't be a reason to have this good girl mentality and to obey and to submit and to be quiet and all the things that means to be a good girl, right? Like we were taught to be these quiet human beings that say yes, no, thank you, and do what we're told, right? We were taught that we had to be the caregivers and the caretakers and hold down the fort while the men go out and make the money and then come back, right? Like that's not who we are, right? Like the feminine is actually super dangerous. And the easiest way to kind of like put this in a way for you to truly understand and picture it is like the feminine is the ocean. Like if you look, if you've ever gone to the beach and you've looked at the ocean, it is the most gorgeous thing ever. Like you have so much peace, so much tranquility, so much like, oh my gosh, this is so good every time you go to the beach, right? And the beach is just the surface level, right? Because underneath that water, it is scary. Underneath that water, you don't know what is happening. You don't know, you have no control, right? The tide and the waves and the motion of the water all is dictated by the moon, and it gets dangerous, right? Like people have died in the ocean, and that is exactly how the feminine energy works. Is yes, we are beauty, we are harmonious, we have this union of fluidity of just being like these sensual goddesses that love to like dance naked around fire, and we have rage, we have anger. We will literally see red and cut throat if we need to. And that is all femininity, is being able to fully express all of your emotions, the joy, the bliss, the orgasm, the pleasure, the happiness, the sadness, the anger, the rage, that I want to cut people and kill people. Like that is who we are. And anyone who tells you different, like they're not truly accepting all of what it means to be feminine. And so by truly embracing that feminine energy, you're allowed to actually set boundaries that are in alignment with who you actually want to be, who you crave to be, honoring your desires, pursuing that authentic lifestyle, right? And by developing the intimacy that you're supposed to have within yourself through breath work, through meditation, through somatic body movement, you're able to deepen that connection with yourself, and you're able to find greater fulfillment in your life. And so, through the practice of self compassion, right, by treating yourself with kindness, by treating yourself with understanding, by giving yourself grace to actually express your emotions and not consider yourself weak because you cry, or consider yourself a drama queen because you have all of these different things coming up. Or if you're a mother, God forbid you cry in front of your kids, right? Like we have to be able to give ourselves the compassion and the kindness that we need. And sometimes I love to compare it with my kids because I have 3 kids. And so they are my biggest teachers. You almost have to parent yourself, right? Like, will you ever tell your child, like, "Ugh, you're too ugly. Ugh, stop crying. Ugh, da da da," right? Like, no, you wouldn't. You're going to comfort the kid. You're going to love the child. You're going to tell them, like, you have your whole life to do whatever you want to do. You can achieve anything you want to achieve, right? Like, that's what we tell our children. And you have to tell yourself that, right? Like, our parents parented us the best way they knew how. And they honestly, they fell short, and that is okay because they did what they could. Now it is up to us to be the parent that we need to be in adulthood so that we can continue to live a life and break the generational wounds that were passed down. And you have to do that by embracing who you actually are. We're feminine goddesses, right? You have to be able to connect with your body. You have to be able to connect with your sexuality. You have to be able to tap into that intimacy because that is who you are. and reminding yourself that you are worthy of the love, you are worthy of the acceptance, and knowing how to give it to yourself first. Because if you know how to give it to yourself first, then you can teach others how to give it back to you. And so, if you have any questions right now, go ahead and drop them in the chat. I know one question came up on, what do you do when you need to relieve stress from a long day? Yes. So for me, this is honestly the best question ever, is I love to go to a quiet place, right? So even if that's my car, I will sit in my car for 5 minutes. I will literally just close my eyes, listen to music, and I will just breathe. And the perfect way to do that is through tapping. So tapping is emotional freedom technique. And if you actually tap like right here on your chest, over and over again to like the rhythm of your heart, it actually slows down your heartbeats, which then will regulate your nervous system back to baseline. So if you just sit here and breathe, right, and do it over and over and over again, that is the perfect way to help relieve stress in like the most quickest way. Another way is just finding what your body needs, whether that is a bath, a shower, going on a walk, right? Journaling, listening to music, having alone time. Having alone time when you're a parent can help you relieve that stress before walking into your mom duties or your parent duties. So I hope that answers your question. If you have any other questions, drop them in the chat. I will answer them. Let me just go through this real quick. Okay. And then, so as questions are coming in, I just want you to take a moment right now. Take a moment to like integrate everything that I have shared with you, all of the knowledge I've shared with you, all of the insight and wisdom that you have gained. And I want you to just envision what your life will look like if you had self-love. How are you going to move through your day? How do you dress? How do you hold yourself? Who's in your circle if you have self-love and self-intimacy at the level that you desire? And allow yourself to relax. So go ahead and close your eyes, be fully present, and just reflect on the key points that were discussed today. So reflect on what it meant to be a woman, reflect on what it means to be fully expressed and what it means to welcome all of your emotions, all of the anger, all of the sadness, all of the happiness. Reflect on what it means to really be okay with the beliefs that you have. And then recognize the disconnect. Embrace the self-intimacy. And if you have any thoughts coming up, drop them in the chat. What does it look like for you to be able to truly understand the power of feminine intimacy? Notice how these concepts keep resonating with you. Do you feel them in any point of your body? Right? Imagine drawing in all of this positive energy, all of this insight that you have learned today. And as you inhale, right? Inhale all of the knowledge, inhale all of the love, inhale all of the wisdom. Go ahead and take a big exhale and release any tension, any resistance, and just allow your body to be fully present. Allow yourself to fully embody the teaching of today. And with every breath you take, feel yourself becoming more aligned with your true desires, with your true authenticity, with your trueness and your true essence of what it means to actually be a woman. Embracing your worthiness, feeling yourself become more aligned, honoring your desires, and nurturing this deep connection to yourself. Trust in your ability to continue this journey of self-discovery and growth. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes and return back to the present moment. Allow yourself to feel grounded and centered and empowered while you embrace this new path ahead of you. Let me know how that feels within your body. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up in the chat. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me today, joining me live, right? Because we talk about some deep stuff, and sometimes it's hard to really face the beliefs that you have and learning how to let go of them. And so give yourself gratitude for allowing yourself to listen in today. And thank you for joining me. And remember, right? Like, remember that this is a journey, this is a path, and living an authentic and fulfilled lifestyle is not linear, right? You're going to have ups and downs, contractions and expansions. And that is what I want to help you do. I want to help you heal, grow, and learn how to truly love yourself. And so, if you are ready to really take the next steps of your healing journey, of your growth, then I invite you to join me in my upcoming masterclass mentorship program, Intimacy. So, Intimacy is, we start July 1st. And Intimacy is my one-on-one mentorship program that kind of has like mastermind feels, right? So this is going to be a tailored custom approach where you get one-on-one coaching calls with me bi-weekly, where we kind of talk about what your desires are in life. What are the goals you have that you want to achieve in the next 90 days, right? And then we take your goals and we teach you the sustainable tools through the breath work, through the somatic practices, through holistic healing modalities on how to actually create a daily routine that will help you achieve those goals as well as sustain those goals so that you can continue to live a life of transformation and abundance, right? Because that is our goal. And intimacy is really going to also give you that deep connection with yourself through the private coaching, but it's also going to give you an exclusive community of 5 other women that are on similar paths with you. Because I get it. When you're doing the work and you start to outgrow your current circles, you start to feel lonely. And one thing I've craved is being in friendships of deep connection, right? Being in girl groups where you don't gossip, being in girl groups where you talk about dreams and ambitions and you're not being judged. And so this is what that container gives you. And it's only for 5 women. So it's highly exclusive. I kind of like to think of it as like a group hug with purpose. And investing in intimacy is honestly investing in yourself. Like, this isn't a mindset reframe fad or another personal development program. Like, this is going to help you look in the mirror every single day and fall madly in love with the body that you're housed in. Like, end of discussion. Right. And so by investing in this program, you're investing in your growth, you're investing in your well being, you're investing in your future. And it's a commitment to honoring your truth. It's a commitment to honoring what you actually see inside of you, to embracing your power, to reclaiming your desires, and to start rewriting your story through the threads of joy and abundance and empowerment. Right. And so if you're still listening to this masterclass, if you're still on live with me today, then I know that this container is for you. And so if this is something that is resonating with you and you want to hop on a 15-minute discovery call, or if you want the recording to today's masterclass, because this live is not going to be shared to my profile. So if you want the recording and have lifetime access to what I just shared with you in today's session, send me a DM. Send me the word intimacy if you want to book a discovery call and learn more about my private mentorship container, or send me the word class and I will send you the recording for today's session so that you have all of the practical tools in your email. But other than that, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you guys inside of intimacy, and I hope you guys have the most amazing day.